Hi, this is Yaz Dabul, live from SCAI 2019, and I'm pleased to be joined by Dr. Rao and Dr. Kolansky. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk today about the SCAI 2019 adult program. Thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Rao, tell us a little bit more about the adult program. What went in to planning this event, and what were the themes that you had anticipated and that have been discussed this year?
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for having me. I think this year's program really was all about teamwork. And we started planning this program over a year ago. And I think for the first time, we had really broad participation of our membership in helping to plan the program. We did this in several ways. First of all, we formed committees for every track that allowed us to actually get broad representation of ideas, and people who know different people in different networks and allow us to get more broad representation from faculty. The second thing that we did was we had a call for ideas to our membership. So for the first time ever, we allowed our members to tell us what they wanted to hear about and what topics they were interested in doing. And then we went to all the committees and councils and asked them to submit ideas as well, and actually even submit entire sessions that we were able to go through. And many of those sessions were incorporated into the annual meeting. Some of them changed a little bit to make sure that there was not a lot of overlap. So the themes that emerged are very similar to the themes that people are seeing in clinical practice. That's what's great about this meeting, is that it's really a practical meeting for the practicing interventional cardiologist. So we talked obviously about coronary physiology, intracoronary imaging. We talked a lot about shock. The usual topics around antithrombotic therapy were also front and center. But the other great thing about the meeting this year is that we made sure that a lot of the attendees had lots of time to network, not only meet the faculty, but meet and network with each other.
Yeah, how do you think the feedback has been so far from the attendance?
Yeah, so it's a great question. I mean, I think it's, I've had sort of a dichotomous experience, because lots of people have told me how much they've enjoyed the meeting. But as the program chair, I'm also on the receiving end for all the complaints. Yeah. And so I was very, very proud of our program committee and proud of the program that we had this year. But we know that we have room to improve. And under Manos Brolakis' and Dan's leadership, I have no doubt that next year is going to be even better.
Yeah. Dr. Kolansky, tell us a little bit more, some of the key sessions and the key takeaways from this conference. What do you think they are?
Well, this conference is very broad, and we try to cover all of the hot topics in interventional cardiology. And we focus not only on our traditional strengths like coronary physiology, coronary intervention, but also a lot of the really hot emerging transcatheter valvular techniques. And so we have sessions on aortic and mitral disease and the like. We also include peripheral. There were a couple of other key things that went into this year. One was some fantastic live cases. So we had live cases from around the country from really expert operators with a lot of interaction with moderators and the operators. A lot of learning points there. We focus this as an educational meeting and a practical meeting, but with real live cases that are challenging. Another hot topic was shock, which is becoming a really interesting area with a lot of support. At this meeting, SCAI released a new set of documents around shock and around the definitions of shock, and we were able to incorporate that into the meeting. So those were some of the big takeaways from this year.
Yeah. Dr. Rao, attendance among women and participation and women presenting the talks this year has been fascinating at SCAI. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the coordination of that, and how do you think next step to even further include women at SCAI 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. As the program committee, we made a very, very early commitment to have broad representation, not only from women in cardiology and interventional cardiology, but also for junior faculty or emerging leaders, people who are just out of fellowship, and even fellows in training. And it really did, again, take teamwork. We worked very, very closely with our SCAI Win committee to help identify folks who would be interested in participating as faculty and people who are talented as faculty members. We've had the highest representation of women faculty ever in the history of the SCAI meeting, but we need to do better. And I think one of the things that goes along with that is recognizing that the planning of SCAI or any interventional conference doesn't occur in a vacuum. Yep. We have to change the profession so that people who are interested in volunteering for the society, giving to the society, and giving to the profession have the time, the opportunity, and the mentorship to do so in their own jobs at home. So SCAI, I think, is going to lead the way on that, and I expect that participation from young faculty members, fellows in training, and women in interventional cardiology and underrepresented minorities is just going to continue to increase.
Well, congratulations on that. Dr. Kolansky, last question for you. Building on the year 2020, how do you think SCAI, what would the themes be in 2020?
Yeah, well, I'm really pleased to still be on the program committee for next year and to help build next year and the year after and build on a very successful meeting. We're going to continue a lot of the same themes with an emphasis on our tracks. We have 5 or 6 terrific tracks, including the Cath Lab Boot Camp, where we talk about how to do leadership in the cath lab, how to improve quality and look at quality metrics, in addition to the coronary and peripheral and structural and congenital tracks. We'll also expand on the theme of inclusion. So we've really focused on including women and our young emerging leaders, people coming out of the Emerging Leadership Mentorship Program called ELM, as well as other new participants. We would really like to encourage SCAI to be the home for interventional cardiologists in the United States and around the world. We'd like representation from all over the world, and we'll continue to build on that for next year's program.
Thank you for this amazing concluding sentence, and thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you all for joining live from SCAI 2019.